Presenting on the retail market, Brandon Rawlins, Principal Broker and Retail Specialist with JLL, has been in the industry for over 15 years, working alongside his clients, strategically outlining and implementing their business models for success.
Good morning. Could I have everyone in the room stand up? Yes, that means everyone in the room, please stand up. Perfect. Now, will you go ahead and fold your arms like so? Okay, now look down and see which arm is on top. All right, go ahead and unfold your arms. Let's try folding our arms again. However, this time, put the other arm that was on bottom on top. It's kind of awkward, right? It just doesn't feel right for some reason. Would you agree? Kind of weird. All right, thanks. Please be seated. When we were born, a small piece of tissue that lies within the center of our brain was suddenly activated. This piece of tissue is called our basal ganglia, and it functions like a memory card. It begins to store information that we receive by a form of touch, smell, taste, or sound. During this process, if a certain piece of information repeats itself, it will be recognized and the root of habit formation has begun. Habits require a cue, a trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode, which leads to a routine, which can be physical, mental, or emotional. And finally, we receive a reward. The reward satisfies the craving or sense of anticipation we desire from the particular habit. Here's an example. When you wake up in the morning and your running shoes are one of the first things you see, this will trigger the cue, which leads to your exercise routine, followed by the reward, which is the feeling of accomplishment and energy our body desires. This is called a habit loop. Each habit loop is automatic and requires minimal effort, such as walking, riding a bike, or brushing your teeth. There are both good and bad habits. And this topic comes at a perfect time since it's a new year and we are now 25 days into our low-calorie, sugar-free diets along with our glorified exercise routines. Let's move on now to a more positive and uplifting topic, a topic that makes you feel like it's the most exciting time to be alive, the topic of retail. In 2017, the retail market saw an increase in the overall vacancy rate compared to the last 2 years. The overall vacancy rate increased to 6.1%. Large block users downsizing or leaving the market like Kmart, Shopko, Toys R Us, JCPenney, Macy's, Sears, and The Gap, to name a few, caused vacancy to jump and mitigated the positive absorption seen in other market segments. Apparel and shoe retailers announced the most store closures in 2017, followed closely by office supply. Asking lease rates, however, continued with a slight increase. Positive absorption with upward pressure on asking lease rates are the primary themes of the retail market. Prominent national tenants are still focused on entering and expanding into our market, which keeps demand high for quality space. Last year, the retail market continued to face question after question after question. My colleagues and I have never been asked so many questions before in our lives, all day, every day. Here are some examples. Hey, retail, why did that store close? Why is that building still vacant? Is retail going away? Banks, who needs banks? Every day was different. One day we would laugh, while the next day we would cry. Oh, and then there was this day.
Oh, that's it. I've had it with this dump. We got no food, we got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
Okay, just calm down.
What the hell are we doing here, Harry? We gotta get out of this town.
Yeah, and go where? Where are we gonna go?
I'll tell you where. Someplace warm. A place where the beer flows like wine. Where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen.
Our habits collectively are transforming the retail market right before our eyes. The retail industry is having to learn, adapt, and change the way we conduct business. This includes everyone in retail, including landlords, tenants, developers, lenders, employers, employees, and yes, even us stubborn brokers are included. Instead of relying on location, 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 we are now focusing on information, information, and then location. Alongside our clients and together as a team, strategic partnerships are being formed with the purpose of defining customer profiles. It's imperative we understand and then predict what our customers will want and need in the future. New internal departments are being formed within each organization and are known throughout the industry as predictive modeling departments. Real estate brokers have become advisors, strategic planners, data analysts, and information processors. 6 months ago, a client hired me to help his company identify a few retail trade areas where they could open a new store. But before the project began, the client wanted to know an answer to this question. Who is the holy grail of consumers? Or in other words, who spends the most money in the retail industry? In order to answer this question, I would need my own predictive modeling department. So after an intense interview process and background checks completed, a few employees were selected. For the past 6 months, this department has been watching, listening, following, and tracking everyone's habits in this room. We were able to hack into your life through Instagram, Venmo, surveillance videos, dash cameras, and Uber, just to name a few. Here are a few things we found. While monitoring a few of your habits through your dash cameras, we noticed a trend in your morning routine. Let's take a look. While driving to work, you passed multiple Starbucks locations, and for some reason, most of the time, they always seem to be on the right-hand side of the road. There is a reason why Starbucks prefers to be on the drive-to-work side of the road while making an easy right-hand turn. Next time you drive into work, see if you can count how many there are. Another routine we studied was the time and traffic patterns you took while driving home from work. While driving home, you pass multiple pizza locations. Let's take a look. This may come as a surprise, but again, pizza places choose to secure locations on the drive home side of the road with easy ingress and egress to their store. Oh, and most of the time, you would turn right. During the holiday season, we paid close attention to our shopping behaviors. Let's take a look at this shopper.
Guys, come here, let's play. Okay, what are the damages?
Okay, it's gonna be 1684.59.
That's all? Really? Whoa. Okay, I'm assuming you take checks?
Sorry, we don't, sir.
Really? Well, I guess we'll do Apple Pay?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that then.
Well, I'm sorry, but this guy is just old, washed up, and has tons of money. We didn't learn anything from Gary Mangum. Sorry, Gary. Big box stores and regional malls have been hit the hardest in this changing retail climate. Retail uses that have prospered explore new uses for retail space, experiences, and deliver service in innovative ways. A couple of retailers uncovered a solution. These retailers have been able to figure out what you want even before you know. An example is Walmart. These are satellite grocery pickup locations. Walmart opened a few of them in our market last year. We captured some before and after photos of these buildings. The one on Highland Drive is located in my neighborhood. It's amazing. This has completely changed the way my wife and I shop. Grocers continue to move to an omni-channel format, which is click and collect. Next, we started following and watching the things that you post on Instagram. I am now officially depressed and jealous of each of your lives. Everyone seems to always be happy and smiling and looking so good. Oh, and not to mention all the activities that you get to do each day. Let's take a look at this weekend warrior. For those of you who know this person, Jamie Marsh, you will attest that she loves to have a good time while working extremely hard for her clients. However, we started noticing some habits that emerged last year, though, Jamie, due to all the multiple soda locations. And I believe her favorite soda, it's something called like a dirty Dr. Pepper, something like that. I'm not quite sure what that is, but anyways. While digging through your emails, we came across this email, which for some reason looks extremely familiar to our department. So let's take a look. Uber Eats. Eats come easy. With Uber Eats app, your favorite local restaurants are always a tap away. So all you have to do is tap, track, eat. Queue, routine, reward. With Uber Eats, fast, fresh, and delivered in 30 minutes or less, so we decided to put it to a test. Let's take a look at this. So you pull up the app, you enter your location, select a restaurant. Oh yeah, we chose to get our grease on for sure. We decided to choose a couple things though. Root beer floats, hot fudge sundae. Uber driver arrives 7 minutes to our door. Uber driver Charles arrives at the office.
What's up, man? How are you?
So here's our root beer float. It was still really good, a little melted. The hot fudge brownie sundae, yeah, that didn't work. The burger and the fries though, like Hires, amazing, so good. Oh, also make sure you tip your Uber driver though, because he only gets 50% of the $5.99 processing fee. Surveys. We love it when customers fill out surveys, especially those surveys while all you have to do is provide your zip code. Take a look at this survey. Which of these items would typically be on your right-hand side as you enter a Target store? So go ahead, what do you guys think? What's the answer? Electronics. The answer is electronics. However, we knew this already because we watched hours and hours of surveillance videos and found that most customers turned to the right when entering a store. Thus the reason for placing the high-priced electronics on the right-hand side of the store. On December 31st, 2017, our research project was finished. Our department was able to provide an answer to our client's question. Expectant mothers and new parents spend an average of $33.6 billion per year, which is the highest amount per class. I totally would have guessed it was the old, washed-up rich guy, but we were wrong. Let's look now at the forecast for 2018. Do you remember this slide from earlier in the presentation? Look at wholesale clubs in 2017, which has the lowest store closures on the list. The next slide I'm about to show you is an example of life in retail. Just as you think you have the right data, the right product type, or even a perfected presentation which outlines a forecast for 2018, this happens. This is a screenshot from my computer on January 11th, 2018. Sam's Club announced the closure of 63 clubs around the country. 12 of these will be converted into e-commerce fulfillment centers. To date, we don't know the exact locations. I want to thank each of you for being such great examples to me in both life and business. I want to thank NAIOP, the sponsors, and my colleagues who shared the stage with me today. And additionally, I'd like to thank my predictive modeling department and along with my internal team at JLL. I love you guys. Thank you.